Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome back to Badgerworks. Today, this. This is the Airfix 1/72 scale de Havilland Vampire T.11 trainer. And this is what we're going to build today. So, let's get on with it. So yes, this is the Vampire. We've built these before. But this one's a bit different. It's the same starter kit as before, but I noticed, I got this in Aldi, middle aisle special. I noticed that they've actually changed it slightly. The model itself is the same. I don't know if you can see that. It says model design and tooling 2013, decal schemes and pack design 2024. So the last one of these we built was, I believe, RAF, and this one is actually Royal New Zealand Air Force. So I thought, what the hell, we'll give it a go. So let's pop it out of the box and have a look at it. So we've got the usual paints and glue, which we won't be using. Interestingly enough, they only give you 3 colours, but they give you 2 pots of the silver. So the colours that you've got in there, you've got 2 pots of number 11, which is the metallic silver. Black is 33, and 53 is gunmetal. And as far as I'm aware, the only thing that you actually use the gunmetal for is for the jet nozzle. But you know, whatever, we won't be using these anyway, but they're there, you know. My daughter uses those more than anything. Right, so there's the instructions, and oh, there's our brush. I do use these brushes a lot, so we'll definitely keep that. The decals have got, well, the bit of tissue paper's got slightly squished, but never mind. Yeah, so these are different. So these are obviously new for this, well, last year. But yeah, so that makes it slightly more interesting. Instructions are, as ever, I should imagine, fairly basic. Oh, they do have a splash of colour in them. I've got where the decals are, they actually put those in red, which is interesting. Although I think that might be the only thing in here that is actually of any colour, which kind of makes you wonder why they bothered, but there you go. Anyway, they're good enough for what we want. The thing that's interesting is it gives you painting instructions for the pilot and the co-pilot, but it's just got black for the gloves and boots and for the belts and everything, and then silver for the helmet, and then nothing for the actual body. So it's just like, well, what colour do you do? But anyway, let's have a look at the model itself. Oh, I really have to change that blade before we get started, really, because that has probably had it by now. Right, so there's our glass. Now this does actually have the facility to have the cockpit open or closed, which is nice. The gun sights are also in here, which I think they normally are. I don't think that's actually changed. But this seems to be, I don't recall it being moulded in this colour before. I might be wrong. But maybe that's what they mean, because there are the pilots there. So maybe you just paint the grey, the black bits, and then just leave the rest of it grey. I don't know. But I don't know if we're actually going to put pilots in it or not. We'll see. Probably not, to be honest. But this looks fairly good. There is some flashing. There's some flashing around the tail there, I can see, which we'll probably have to sort out. There's a nasty look. Oh, that's actually broken off. So this box must have got squished at some point, or this frame did. But it's actually, it marked the plastic, but we can sort that out, that's fine. Right, yeah, there is a little bit of flashing. You can see now these starter kits are starting to get a little bit long in the tooth. I mean, this is, what, 2013, so this is, what, 12 years old now. The moulds are 12 years old, so they've had a bit of use. But yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Right, let's make a start. Yeah, it's funny. I was just looking at the instructions, and there's various bits. So for example, it tells you to paint the top of this black, the instrument panel black. It tells you to paint where are the control columns? Wherever they are. But it tells you to paint the top of those black. There's one of them. Where's the other one? Where's the other control? Oh, it's missing. That's useful. Is it in the box? No, we're missing a control column. That's nice. Good job, Airfix. Good grief. Actually, it's not in the bag, is it? What did I do with the bag? It might be in the bottom of the bag, which it isn't. So it looks like that must have been broken while it was being packaged. Nice. And that is on the same frame as the wings, so this was broken as well. So I think I got a sneaky suspicion this got mullered in the factory. But yeah, we're missing one of the control columns. Great. Oh well, never mind. I'm sure we can find a bit of plastic to wedge in there that will look vaguely right. And there's me thinking this is going to be a nice simple build, but now I've got to make a bit. Never mind. Right. I'll cut all these bits out and start putting them together, and we'll go from there. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're starting to oh, that's not even molded properly anyway. The side of that seat's not molded properly, look. It should be like that, and there's a big bit missing out of it. But you're also starting to get, see there's flashing on the seat and a mould line. And I'm sure the last one that I did didn't have any of this, so it just goes to show those moulds are starting to show their age. But never mind. It was bound to happen. I'll get all these parts cleaned up and whatnot, and we'll start putting this together. Oh, nice ejector pin marks on the back there as well, which hopefully won't affect how these seats fit. Let's just check. I think we'll be all right. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. Right, like I said, I'll get these bits cleaned up and then we'll go on from there. Right, so we've got the seats and whatnot in, and you can see I've made another control stick. It's not brilliant, but it's better than nothing. What I did was I used a bit of this evergreen, this is like an RSJ, like an I-beam kind of thing, and I just trimmed off one edge and flattened it down a bit, and then took a little bit of this thin round rod and just stuck a bit on the end of it, and it looks vaguely right, so it will do. What I'm doing now, and I should have done this before I put the seats in, but I forgot. There are actually some indents on the top of the seat there. Hopefully you can see those. And they're there to attach, if you choose to do so, the ejection handles. So I thought what I would do is I'll just drill these holes out a little bit, and then if we do decide to put ejection handles in it, then we've got somewhere to put them. I haven't actually decided if I'm going to do it or not yet, but we'll see. But this is a 0.5mm drill bit, and I say I'll just drill these out a little bit, and then we can decide whether to put a bit of wire or something in there and paint it up. There we go, just like that. So I have also attached the trim wheel to the inside of the cockpit there, and we can start putting some paint on things now. I need to prime everything first, but I'll get all the bits sorted out that need to be black, so I'll do the wheels and everything at the same time, and then we can start putting some paint on this. For primer, I'm just going to use our normal high coat grey primer, so I'll use that for everything, and then we'll start doing some black. Right, I've just cut a couple of bits of this wire. This is actually from those LEDs that I used on the Christmas special truck, the Chevrolet sleigh. So it's just some nice little thin bits of wire, and we'll just bend them into shape somehow. So it might not be a bad idea actually. Let's get a paintbrush. That's far too big. That might do. And we'll just bend them around this if I can. Just to get them in a nice sort of half round shape. That didn't really go according to plan at all. Oh. There we go, that's more like it. Oh, this super glue's gone so stringy. It's kind of had it really. I should get a new bottle of it. It's quite nice it being sort of as thick as it is, but it's also very stringy. It makes it quite difficult to use, but we'll manage. Right, and we'll let that dry, and then we'll put a little drop on the other end and pop them into place, he says with supreme confidence. Right, nobody breathe. There we go. Whew. Right, we'll let those dry and then we can prime those as well. Actually, I have to say that control column looks a lot better now. It's got some primer on it. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than just having a big hole in there where it should be. Right, I just thought while I'm waiting for all that to dry, I might as well put all these tail booms and whatnot together, and the fuel tanks. I think now's probably as good a time as any. Oh. They don't fit together very well, which is hardly surprising considering there's massive ejector pin marks on them, because of course there is. Oh, good grief. we'll try that again, shall we? That's better. All right. Be careful not to touch it and get fingerprints on it. Gap there. Let's try one of these. You've seen me use these little clamps before, they're very useful. Right, so I have just painted the dashboard. I literally hit this with a rattle can. And I gave it a quick lick over with some gloss lacquer. Again, the normal, where is it? This high coat stuff. Because I just want to get this decal in place. But what I've done, I've actually cut a lot of the surrounding away from the decal, because one of the things I found, and it happens with almost every model, it's nothing, not just Airfix, but everybody, these decals never fit properly. And the reason is, I don't know if I can show you one of the other ones. If I get the light to catch it, can you see around the edge here, there's like a border of clear material. And most of the time that's fine, it doesn't matter. But when you're trying to fit a decal into a very small specific area like this, that just gets in the way. So I've basically just taken a scalpel and just cut away most of the black background of the decal to make it fit properly. So now we've got our Mr. Mark setter, and we'll put some of this on here. It won't need a lot. That should be more than enough. And I've got my wax burner sitting over the back here with some warm water in it. So we'll wet this. Right. Let's pop that on there. And as you can see, that fits quite nicely. And because the back of it is black anyway, it doesn't really matter that I've cut some of the surround away. Right, use one of these pointed cotton buds to try and get this to lay flat, which is probably going to be fun, but it's actually not bad. Right, I think that'll do us. And what I'll do is I'll give that a flick over with some matte lacquer in a minute once it's dry, and that will seal it all in place. I'm just trying to decide actually whether to paint up the pilots anyway and put them in. It might be fun to put them in. I don't normally put pilots in things, but might be worth it. I'll have a think about it. Right, while I've got the white out, I'm going to try and do this, do these ejection handles. So we'll just load up the brush. I just hit this with some with a black rattle can, basically. Oh, this is really awkward. My eyes are getting worse as I get older. Oh, I can't focus. This is going to look ridiculous when it's done because I can't see what I'm doing. So you can probably see better than I can, in all fairness. Right, now we'll let that dry, and then we'll try and go over it with some yellow. I'm not going to bother doing the underside of it because, quite frankly, it sits right on top of the helmet, so you can't see the underside of it. Right, now we will try and go over it with this XF3 flat yellow. This is going to be hilarious. Right, let's see what kind of a lash up we can make of this. Oh, it's actually not too bad. That's not terrible. Oh, looks alright, doesn't it? That'll do for our nefarious purposes. I think we're almost ready to put this cockpit together. Right, now for the really fun bit. Not putting the cockpit together, but we've got to weight the nose. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this, because this, it says 7 grams in the nose. This block of white tack weighs 5 grams. And I found these 3 little screws, and together that all weighs 7 grams. So somehow I've got to try and get all of this into there. I don't think it's going to go. I think what I might do first, I used to have a little box of fishing weights, and do you think I can find them? They were always really useful for this, but I can't find them. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that to one side for a minute. I'm going to put the cockpit in one side of the fuselage, and then go from there, I think. So, right, what we need to do is we need our 2 little pilot chaps. Oh. I need to stick them in first. I'll move these out of the way for a minute, because otherwise the camera will no doubt try and focus on them, because it does that. Right. Oh, good grief. Right, you get in there. No, I did test fit these earlier and they fitted, but I bet you any money you like they won't now. You go like that. And now we've got to try and get this one in this side. I'll tell you what, you find out who your friends are if you're flying one of these, won't you? Right, and you go like that. And now we need to try and get this dashboard in, which is going to be absolutely hilarious. So we've got to get this down between their legs, and that does not look like that's going to fit. Might need a bit of brute force and ignorance. I can't find the hole. Stop laughing at the back. Oh, has that gone in? Oh dear. Right, that is in the hole, but whether or not it's in the right place is another matter. I think that's supposed to be upright, which it currently isn't. Although it's not far off. We might be alright. I'll tell you what, if this all goes in that fuselage, it'll be a blooming miracle. Right, now we need the bulkhead. And that goes there like that. Somehow. Oh no, I've got to glue this left-handed. Right, now I think this goes in here. We'll try and get this into place. Try and finagle everything. Oh dear. He says as everything goes everywhere but where I want it to go. Ah, that went in then. I felt it go. Right, let's see if we can glue this in. Oh, completely missed. See, getting it on one side is easy, it's getting it in the other side that's difficult. Oh, I just realised I forgot a bit. Oh, nightmare, quick. This bit needs to go on top. We should be able to hopefully get that in there with a bit of no, oh, or not. I might have to take this out again, I really don't want to. Right, I think that's in the right place. Okay. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but right, let's just try and put this other half of the fuselage on quickly and see if it all goes. God, that's noisy. That is a helicopter of some sort, and that is obnoxiously loud. Right, that is in the right place, which is nice. That is very, very cramped, that cockpit, isn't it? So you find out who your friends were quick enough, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want to be in there with somebody who didn't wash. Oh, right, come on, out. Oh no, I can't get the thing off. Oh. Come on. There we go. Right, so that is in the right place. So we can leave that to dry. And then once that's dry, we can try and weight the nose. But I do actually have an idea for something that might work as well, but we'll have to try it in a minute. Let's wait for that to dry. Right, this could go horribly wrong, but we'll see. Let's see if I can get these, get a couple of these in here and lined up in some fashion, because I've got an idea and I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a go. Oh. Right. So we'll put those three there like that. And then what we've got here is some UV resin. And I'm just going to put a blob of it on there like that. Doesn't need a lot. And then UV torch. And that should hold all that in place. Right, let's glue this up. And then what we might be able to do is pour a bit more resin in there and try and seal it that way. Right, we'll let that cook for a minute. Right, well the camera just decided to stop recording and then it flashed up a message saying something went wrong. Great, thanks for that. Anyway, what I've done is I have put some more resin in the nose and then hit it with the torch to seal it, and I'm hoping that that's going to be enough in terms of weight to hold it. I mean, it is definitely, you know, if I hold it in the middle like that, it's very nose heavy, so hopefully that should be enough. So the next thing we need to do is clean up all these joints, but I'll do that off camera. Then we need to mask up the canopy and fit that, and then we can start putting the rest of it together. But hopefully that's worked, but we shall see. So we can put that to one side now, and we are going to turn our attention to the cockpit, the canopy glass, because we've got to mask all this up now, which is going to be hilarious. So I'll show you a trick to make this a little bit easier. Right, let's start with this big bit. It's probably as easy. If I knew where my scissors had gone. Right, so we'll just get this stuck down. I'm just using a cocktail stick to work it into all the edges. And then we need to cut this off, but it's not the easiest thing to see. So little tricks you can do: take your phone, turn the torch on. This is going to be a bit bright, unfortunately, but where are my glasses? There they are. And if you put that over the light, oh, you can see it's much easier to see where you need to cut. So we have our scalpel with a nice shiny new blade in it. And we'll start here. And just work our way around. Right, and hopefully and there we go. I'll put my hand over the light so you can see it a bit better. But there you go, easy as that. So I will get on and do the rest of this and we'll go on from there. Right, let's see if we can get this canopy stuck in place. Glasses would help. I always find it funny when people say you can't use these extra thin glues on canopies. You can, you just need to be careful. Right. Now we put the front bit on. And I also found out something interesting today that I didn't know. These little side windows actually open. I was looking at some photographs today because I was checking some colours and things, and yeah, sure enough, I found a picture. I'll put it up if I remember. But yeah, there was a photo of the crew sitting in the aircraft. I mean, the canopy's open, but this side window's open as well. Who knew? Which I thought was... although the weird thing is, it actually opens inwards, which strikes me as a bit odd, because surely you'd want it to open outwards so that the force of the air won't push the window in if the latch fails. But who knows? All right. Now let's see if we can get this on. This is always the problem with these multiple piece canopies. They're great if you want to have the canopy, you know, give you the option of the canopy open or closed. But it also makes it very awkward to get the canopy in place if you want it shut. sides down. Stay. Right, there we go. So we'll let that dry, and then we can start thinking about putting engines and wings and things on. Right, time has passed. It's actually a couple of days later now. Life got in the way, as it always does. But I'm going to work in an hour or so, but I thought what I would do is I would take some time today and just off camera and just like clean up all the bits so that when we come back to this, it will be ready to go together. And I'm afraid I'm going to have a little bit of a rant here. So, you know, it is what it is. But this kit is, in a move that will surprise no one, this kit doesn't go together very well. I've been dry fitting all the parts together to you know, see how well they fit together, and basically they don't. Now I think I mentioned before that this kit's getting on a bit now. It's not ridiculously old, but what was the date on it? The tooling's 2013, so it's what, 12 years old, and it's beginning to show. These wings are deformed, by the way, but we'll get to that in a minute. I've cleaned all these up now, but there are mold lines. Not massive mold lines, but enough all around the inside edges here, all across here, here, at the front and everything. And it stops everything from going together properly. These things, which are the air intakes, had big ejector pins. You can see the remnants of them on the back there that I had to clean up. And basically what happens is, let me see if I can try and put this together and show you. Give you an idea anyway. Is that the right one? Right, that goes in there like that. Oh, stay. And then this goes, this just like sits over the top like a saddle. Now, straight away you can see it doesn't fit together very well. It really doesn't. Now, bear it in mind, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a starter kit, but, you know, it's a gift set. It says it quite clearly. Oh, come here. Hang on. I don't know if I can get this under the camera now. Gift set. This is designed, this kit, for your parents and grandparents and whatnot to buy for their kids. And obviously in the hope, as far as, you know, Hornby Airfix is concerned, that they will then take up the hobby of modelling. And I can tell you now, being a parent myself, that children take the path of least resistance. As you've heard me jokingly say to my daughter many times, if something's hard to do, then it's not worth doing. And the problem is, this doesn't fit together properly. And that's after I've cleaned out all the mold lines. Okay, so there's that to start with. That does not fit together properly. You can see the light shining through the gaps. Now, not only that, we move on from there. The tail booms, let's make sure I've got the right one here. So this one goes on this side. Okay, now this on the surface appears to be a very good design, because you have these bits here, and these basically sit in the wing and locate the tail boom. Great, that's a really good idea. However, there is a problem, because if I put that in there like that, if we, oh, hang on, I can't see what I'm doing now. Still can't see what I'm doing. I can't see with my glasses on, I can't see with my glasses off now. Good grief. Now, if we look in here, you'll see that this here does not line up with where it's supposed to be. So the wing doesn't fit properly. the boom doesn't fit properly in the wing. That's after I cleaned out all the mould lines in here because it wouldn't fit at all. You can see there, that's probably a better example there. Those two bits there are supposed to be lined up. That should be like that. And I'm having to force that into position. You see? Now you might say, well, that's not that bad. But okay, fair enough. Let's put the other side of the wing on. If it'll even fit. Right, that goes like that. And you can see that does not line up. There's also big gaps everywhere. Yeah? Here, there's a big step. See that big step there? That's because the bottom of the wing is in the right place. The top of the wing is not. It doesn't fit together properly. You have to force it into place. Now, the point is here, these kits are the kind of things that are sold for a few quid in, like I said, I bought these from Aldi. You always see, well, not always, but you see these quite often in Aldi. And I'm not just having a go at Airfix here or Humbrol. All model designers, you know, make kits better. Okay, I hear people, I see, you know, comments from people on the videos all the time. Oh, I don't buy Revel kits because they're rubbish. I don't buy this brand. I don't buy that brand. The only ones that seem to get away with it are Tamiya, to be honest. I haven't built a Tamiya kit for a while. We'll have to build one and compare. Yeah, they don't, you know, it's like, come on, guys, this is what you do. You know, I know you're a business. I know you're there to make money. And I know that when it comes to injection moulding, making the moulds is the most expensive part of the process. But the point is, these moulds, despite only being like 13 years old or whatever, they're shot. They've had it. Okay? Has anyone at Airfix built one of these things recently? Because these are not fit to give to children, which is what they are basically designed for. If you want to get kids into this hobby, you need to make things simple. You need to make them fit together properly. They don't necessarily have to be a simple kit, but they need to fit together properly. The idea of this is to sit down with your kids or your grandkids or whatever and knock it out in an afternoon. I've been working on this for 2 days now, and most of that has been cleaning up and trying to get these bits to fit together. So if anyone from Humbrol is watching this, which I'm almost positive they never will, can we try and do a little bit better, please? On behalf of all of us, you know, and not just, like I said, it's not just Humbrol, it's not just Airfix, all model companies, you know. Some of the models that I've had, that Bunny Kit and given me stuff, they are awful. You know, it's like you've got moulds from the 60s that are absolutely shot. And it's not good enough, okay? Model companies, do better. Anyway, rant over. I'm going to get on with cleaning these bits up. You can go back to whatever you were doing. Right, well, after taking a moment to recover from my little rant, I've actually been working on the wings to try and get them to fit a little better. And what I've done, and hopefully you can see it, I've basically just removed some material along here on both sides, just kind of angled it, and that's actually helped quite a lot. So if we take one of our tail booms and pop that in there and pop the other side of the wing on, or the underside of the wing I should say, that actually now fits a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's way better than it was. So that will probably do us for that. I've also done a few other little bits here and there. I've actually just brush painted the inside of the wheel wells here. And I also did some of the undercarriage parts. And I've been using this, I'm going to use this Vallejo metallic aluminium. And as I said, I brush painted this on and it went on really well. I'm quite impressed with how well that's gone on. So that was it. It didn't seem worth digging the paintbrush out, just the airbrush rather, just to do those few little bits. So I just did them with a brush. So the other thing I've been doing is working. Oh, I also put the outer elevator, I suppose it is, on. There are some nice gaps there, you can see. Again, just poor moulding, unfortunately, but there you go. I've also been working on the fuselage, getting these air intakes in, and they again don't fit very well. I actually removed a little piece of material on each side there to make it easier to fit, because it didn't want to go in. But again, they're not the best fit, and there's actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Oh, especially if it falls out. I haven't glued it in yet because I'm still trying to refine the fit. But I don't know if you can see, there's actually daylight there because it doesn't line up properly. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, is just trying to get that to fit. I'm not quite sure how. It might just be a bit of brute force and ignorance, but we'll see. And then the other thing I'm going to do before I assemble the wings is I'm just going to paint the inside of these wheel wells, because I've been trying to find some decent photos of the inside of the wheel wells, and I haven't really been able to find any good ones. But some that I've looked at, it appears that, this is why I painted this bit silver, it appears that this part is actually the same, you know, just raw aluminium. I'm assuming it's aluminium. And the actual inside of the wings are cockpit green. So I'm just going to put some on, but I'll probably just do that with a brush just very quickly. Again, there's no point getting the airbrush out just to do those two little spots. So I'll do that with a brush. So I'll do those few bits. And then I think we can start putting this together. So let me paint those quickly, get these fitted, and then we'll start putting it together. Right, so before I assemble the wings and everything, I want to do a little bit of panel line and stuff. So I need to do the undercarriage, and for that I'm going to use this. This is again from that Vallejo metallic set. So I'm using this gunmetal metallic. So we'll start with the exhaust nozzle. And we'll also do the undercarriage struts. And the front one. Now we also need to do the wheels, and I'm going to use a little trick for that, which I've shown you before, but I'm going to show you again, because I don't think it's always worth repeating. Get yourself one of these. This is a circle template. You can get them on Amazon and places like that. So I've already painted the wheel black, as you can see. So what you do is you find a suitable hole, stop laughing at the back, and line up the wheel with it like that. And then there you have one perfectly painted wheel. It's very, very easy. Saves a lot of masking. Right, while we're waiting for that lacquer to dry, we'll start trying to put this together. And I got a feeling this is going to be hilarious, because I just did a dry fit and nothing fits. So we put the top wing on first, and as you can see, that doesn't fit very well. But there we go. Oh, it really doesn't fit very well at all. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I really don't. There's just big gaps everywhere. I was hoping to get away with not having to use any filler on this, but I can't see that's going to be the case. But you know, it is what it is. Alright, now we've got to put these tail booms in. Now it does say to put the rear elevator in before you put the tail planes on, but I think we're going to have to try and... we'll have to do that afterwards, I think. Oh. Oh dear. I'll try and get these in now. Not that one, it's that one. Oh, good grief. Look at that gap, look. There's just massive gaps everywhere. This is really an awful kit. Just where we've got plenty of clamps, eh? Look at that gap, look. The only way I can do anything with that is to basically force the wing down. We'll worry about that in a minute. Right, let's get this one in. This kit weighs a ton now, with all the clamps and the weights and everything. Right. Now we'll just let that dry. Oh God, I can't even put it down. There we go. It's fine, everything's fine. Right, so after much wailing and gnashing of teeth, it's together. There are still some gaps in it. I managed to get these parts roughly lined up. I used a couple of these big Wolfcraft clamps and just like clamped like that and put more of the solvent on, which basically softened the plastic and let it move into place, which is not ideal, but you know, at this point, what we're going to do. So I've given it a coat of grey primer, the normal high coat stuff, and now I'm going to go over it with this metallic aluminium Vallejo Model Air. This has been working for me quite well so far, so hopefully it will continue to do so for this. So let's give it a coat and see what happens. I should point out before I start that now is a good time as well, whenever you're doing anything like this, to go back over the any masking tape and just make sure it's all stuck down properly, because sometimes I've noticed it can lift a little bit after a while. So, and this is Tamiya stuff as well, it's not like it's cheap stuff, but anyway, that looks all right. So yes, we'll give this a spray and see what it looks like. That looks all right, doesn't it? Right, we'll do the rest of it and see how we get on. All right, well that looks all right. So what we'll do now is we'll let this dry, and then we'll give it a coat of gloss lacquer, and then we can start thinking about putting some decals on it. Right, that gloss lacquer has had a good chance to dry now, so it's time for some decals. So I'll just put one on just to show you, and then I'll do the rest afterwards. But one of the things that's worth doing, especially with ones like this, where they have to go into a specific place, it's a good idea, if I can find my glasses so I can see what I'm doing, is to actually cut around the decal. I think I mentioned this before, but let's see again if I can get the light to catch on it. But you'll see where the red line is, there's like a border around the outside of it, and that will actually, or can, interfere with the fitment of the decal. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut that off. So I'm going to take a pair of scissors, and we're going to very carefully cut along the line like that. There's a bit of fluff stuck to my scissors, which is really annoying me. Like that. Now, I've got my little Airwick wax burner over here with some warm water in it. So we'll drop that in there for a second. And we've got our Mr. Mark setter. So this one goes in at the back here. So we'll just put a little drop of the decal setter there. You don't need tons of stuff. So there's a little cutout on the edge there, you see, that goes up like that. So let's see if we can get this into place. Like that. That went on a lot easier than I thought it was going to. That doesn't seem to really match up with the shape of that panel very well, does it? But never mind. Never mind. We'll just carry on, and then we just take a cotton bud and just, what we want to do is just squeeze out any, oh, try not to move it around too much, although in fact I might actually move that down towards the back a little bit more. Yeah, that doesn't really line up very well, does it? Oh well. And just, like I say, just roll this over and just get the excess decal setter out from underneath. Like that, you see? And then we'll leave that to dry. I'll carry on and do the rest of them. Once I've got them all on, I will give it another coat of gloss lacquer just to seal it all. And then I think we can think about putting the undercarriage on. Right, this is dry again. It's a bit orange peely actually. I'm kind of tempted to polish it, but you know what they say about certain things that you shouldn't try and polish. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put the undercarriage on. So let's get all our various bits and bobs. I'll just do one side just to show you, and then oh, that would have been fun. Oh, come here. Right, wheels and front wheel. Right, oh, we need that bit as well. Right, so I think this is this side, yeah, because there's a little like half round bit there that goes to the front. So that goes, hang on. How is that going to fit in there? I might have made a boo-boo here. Or have they made a boo-boo? Because that... Oh, I think I know what they've done. Because it says on the plans to put this in the boom before you put the wing together. And I didn't because I wanted to paint everything. And this may now not fit. But that's fine. We can fix this with a bit of brute force and ignorance. So what we'll do is we'll just... nip that. And nip that, like that. And now hopefully we can there we go. Ah, looks like it grew there. That's not even close to being straight though. Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses? There they are. I don't think that's gone in properly. No, it hasn't. Glue would be useful. We might just have to melt this into place. There we go. That got it. That's more or less straight. Right, now, is this the one that goes on this side? I think it is. We pop that on there like that. Stay. That is actually straight, hurrah. Now I've got to figure out which wheel goes on which side. I can't remember if these have a flat on them or not. Might not actually matter. I think it goes that way up. that. And then figure out where this goes now. I think that goes like that. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, that's right. Right, there we go, like that. So that's that one. Let's put the other side on. So we're going to do the same thing here and remove that bit. Where did I put those clippers? There they are. Right, let's pop that in there. Oh, that one made it much easier. Okay, and this time I'm going to put the wheel on first before I put the other bit on, because that seems to be a better idea. So that needs to go that way round. Oh, come on, get in there. That's it. Try and get that somewhere near straight. Really trying to do this in front of the camera, shouldn't I? Drop a glue there. And oh, grief. Goes on like that. There we go. And then this goes in. That is not in the right place. That needs to go forward a bit more. Goes like that. There we go. Right, now we want to put this on the front. So let's try this. Got a little drop of glue there, a little drop of glue there. And then we take this and we pop that in place like that. Stay. Make sure that is straight, which it pretty much is. Now, this goes on there like that. A little drop of glue there, and then pop that on there like that. Oh, which which is now nowhere near straight. Like that. Now we want to try and get this. Is that actually right? That doesn't look like it's right. That should be more like that, shouldn't it? Well, we'll soon find out. Right, now, oh, let's put that away for a minute. We need to put this, oh, in there like that, which seems to be working. So let's try a drop of glue in there. This is really awkward doing this with my left hand. I'm getting glue everywhere. Right. That goes there, that goes there, and that should hopefully stay put. And that is straight. Right. Whew. We'll let that dry. Oh, actually, I need to put the exhaust pipe in. Right, I'll put a drop of glue on that, and I think we can let this dry and then wrap this up. And here is our finished article. This one gave me a little bit more trouble than I'd anticipated, to be honest. I was fully expecting this to be, you know, I was going to knock this out in a couple of hours and have a nice little video for you guys, but it ended up taking significantly longer than that. But I think it's come out reasonably well, all things considered. You know, considering it's a starter kit, you'd like to think they'd be a little bit easier going together, but there you go. I've already had one little rant about that. I don't think we need to you know, go over that anymore. You know, like I said, I'm basically pleased with how this has come out. So hopefully you've all enjoyed this little foray into madness. As ever, I'd like to thank my top tier patrons, Howard, Amy and Hawaii Clive O, for their continued support. And I will see you all on the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers. Bye.